most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Shrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we're going to talk about solutions for shoulder pain with overhead work or activities, especially repetitive tasks like you'd see with a painter, mechanic, hairdresser, welder, even a teacher working on those smart boards now.
Sure.
Especially if they have poor posture.
Right.
You know, if they have poor posture, that's making there more stress on the shoulder than there would be if you have good posture.
We hammer that home on every video.
Electrician, pruner, sheet rocker. What do they call a sheet rocker?
A rocker. That's what they call themselves.
They call them a rocker?
I believe so. Yes. Anyways, overhead work. That's really a tough one. Although they've got some nice tools to make that be better. You know.
Yeah, we'll go over some things, and if you're just stuck where you have to do it, we'll show you an option there too.
Right, and some exercises to help alleviate the stress.
So the first thing you want to do, if possible, you want to either raise your body, let's say you're the worker, or lower the surface. Let's say Brad's working on my hair.
Ah, yes, I'm a very good hairdresser. If I'm not going to touch your hair.
No, you don't have to touch my hair.
But yeah, if I'm working, look at my shoulder position. And this is a common problem with people who do work with hair.
Absolutely.
That really puts a lot of stress on the shoulder.
All day long, imagine that.
Right. We want to get the arms down here to what we call a neutral position. So either one of two things have to happen. Either lower the person that you're working on, or you have to raise yourself up to achieve that. So
let's do both.
Okay. Well, go ahead and lower the chair once.
I was going to do it while you stood up there. I was going to lower down at the same time.
Well,
all right, I'll go
probably
down.
Not going to happen. There you go. Now look at this. It's still too high. Bob's a tall drink of water.
Yeah.
You know, he's 6.5 footer. So I'm going to have to get on a stool to get there. You know, probably right here. Now, I know what you're saying is I cannot cut hair from a stool because I'm going to fall off, and that's a possibility. There's one thing that this does cost a little bit of money, but I do know what happens, and they have an elevated, they call like a horseshoe that goes around the work area that elevates you, especially if you're shorter, if you're 5'1", 5'2", or whatever, and you got tall people, that eliminates that problem. You can walk around with the whole floor being elevated. So I know it's not an easy option, but it is an option. And if it's going to be your life's work and you're a shorter person, you know, it's going to take care of it. There's a lot of problems. Yeah. Your shoulders, you know, if it can be the difference between having a shoulder surgery after 10 years of work or not, or continue.
And not even be able to work.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
So, and like if you're going to prune a hedge,
sure,
that's a good time to use a ladder or step stool.
Right.
You know, don't be going like this if you can avoid it. Drilling into a wall.
Right.
You know, a lot of people, they drill into a wall like this. If you're on this wall right here.
Yeah, we actually did that on here.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right.
And Bob was taller, but if I can get up, and using a stool like this is okay, but I like the stools that have the handle that come up, and you can actually lean into that handle. They're very sturdy. They cost more, but very much worth it. And get in. If you're using the Torx bits, they work a lot better than a Phillips bit. Really can save your shoulder. You got to get used to them a little bit, but they're superior to Phillips.
And that's the important part about getting the right equipment, too.
Exactly.
Like if you're doing it manually, like you're trying to use a wrench or a screwdriver, it's going to be so much harder than using a drill.
You might as well throw in the I mean, that's so old-fashioned, it makes me want to cringe thinking about it.
And I was doing it until 2 years ago until I saw Brad's kit. I'm like, oh, my God, it's so easy. So another thing is if you're stuck where you just have to do it. You know,
right. It happens.
It happens quite often.
Yep.
What do you want to do is you want to take like a 30-second break every 2 minutes.
Right.
In other words, quite often.
Right.
Like the other day I was working, and this was outdoors, and I was trying to hang something up on a pole, and I just was lazy. I wasn't going to get something to stand on. And I had to screw, and the drill didn't work on this one. And I would screw it, and I just let my arm relax and shake it out and rest every couple of minutes. The other thing that works really well is if you're going up here, you're kind of pinching.
Yep.
Is you actually stretch the opposite direction. So yeah, if you can clasp your fingers together and pull your arm back, or you grab your wrist and pull back. If you have a pole, that works great.
You know, it can just be a stick, a yardstick, or
Yeah.
anything where you can. Because for me, my shoulders are too tight. This actually is too much, so I need something to spread them out a little bit. The other thing, Bob, I did want to mention is I've had it where I've had shoulder problems working on something, and I'll just stop and I'll do the old Codmans and just let
Sure.
my tired, sore shoulder relax, you know, for 20, 30 seconds. And that can make a big difference doing that every 10 to 20 minutes.
We got to mention this too, Brad.
Yeah.
We did a whole video on hanging and the benefits of hanging.
And hanging is an actual treatment that will
Actual
show
treatment
you.
for your shoulder, and it's a great one to also use for taking breaks
Yep.
when your shoulder's under stress.
Right.
So I'm just going to show Brad. No, you're going to show it, aren't
Oh,
you?
you bet. Now, actually, I have a friend who's a contractor. He's going to be working on my house, actually. And in his portable workshop, in his trailer, covered trailer, he has these. He doesn't have these hangers, but he uses a pole.
Sure.
You know, it's like a pull-up bar, basically. And he'll go in and hang.
So yeah, you can use a branch or a pull-up bar. We sell the hanging handles because you can put them in your house and or your workspace, and whenever you need a break, not only are you stretching the shoulders, you're stretching the back too. You're working on your posture the whole
There you
bit.
go. And I'm
So-
adjusting the amount of weight I have on it, and you can do that. And you're only going to do this for 15 to 30 seconds. And you might do that a couple times, you know, maybe 4 or 5 times a day, depends on
Right.
your activity level.
It's amazing some of the testimonials that we've got, but also Dr. Kirsch got, who came up with this. Yep, there's his book.
Here's his book. It's a wonderful shoulder book. Highly recommended if you got shoulder problems and you want to start hanging. It's cheap. I mean, like 10 or 12 bucks, I believe.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we couldn't recommend it more. We were disbelievers at first, but now we believe.
And it's written for the layperson. You don't have to be a therapist to understand everything.
All right, when you're not working with your arms up like this, give your arms a rest. Don't be having your arms out like this, you know, if you can. So tell people to keep your elbows into your side as much as possible when you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that's not always practical,
Right.
but that visual seems to help a lot of my patients. Like, keep your arms into your side
Yeah.
whenever you can. Don't be having it out like this.
Right.
So-
I use the thing. Say, imagine there's a box. We call it the work box. It's a box about like this, and it's right in front of you. And you try to keep all your work effort in
Right.
the work box, not over here, not up here, but right in front of your belt line or just above.
That's a great visual, because if you're working on a bench or something like
Right.
that, again, you don't want to be forward like this. You want to be up to the bench and keeping your arms
Yep.
like that. Also, you know, the big thing here is try not to be the weekend athlete, but the weekend worker.
Yeah.
Where you try to get some task done, and so you know, let's say you're going to paint something, it's all overhead,
Yeah.
and you're going to go, I'm going to do it this weekend.
You're going to
It's
get
like-
it done one way or
Yeah.
another. That's me.
Yep, that is you. And what's going to happen? You're going to put in like 5-6 hours, and your shoulders are going to be maybe permanently damaged. I
It's
mean,
possible.
yeah.
You
and your neck could be sore, and
impinge that tendon until you almost fraze it. You know.
yeah. So we want you to break it up. You know, break up the time periods. Do it incrementally. It's just going to be a lot more. Put it in manageable chunks.
If you have to take ibuprofen every 4 hours to get to your project, you're taking it out on your body, and it's just going to give you long-term problems.
We already mentioned this. You know, don't use ineffective or inappropriate tools.
Right.
And the final thing, you know, if really given the choice, especially if you're having shoulder problems, avoid working in these cramped spaces or
right.
overhead.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times you have to say no. You can look at it maybe further down the road.
Yep.
And I know what a lot of you are saying. You're screaming at me and saying, well, who's going to do it if I don't do it?
Right.
Well, who's going to do it when you have shoulder surgery?
Right.
That's the same person that should do it now.
Yeah. It's really tough when it's a person's profession and they do it for work.
Right.
Those are the people that I really.
They're kind of stuck.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. But again, keep watching our videos. We have options, some things that can help you out.
All right. Thanks for watching.